Well, hello, dear viewer. It's me, your favorite space uncle. And it's time once more for a story, a part 3. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited about this. The first 2 parts have been amazing, so let's go. From Reddit user Erotus. Again, if I'm saying your name wrong, I recorded all of these in one night, so you're gonna hear this a lot. Sorry. But yes, this is Bringing Home a Stray Legbeard, part 3, Cat Scratch Fever. I don't even know what's gonna happen, but I'm already scared. Here we go. So as you may remember, my roommate's girlfriend, Georgia Beard, was just the worst. Yeah, so much the worst that I actually used a different word here to describe them, but I can't say it in the first minute of this video, but you know what it is. She brought 9 animals into our 2-bedroom apartment. 2-bedroom apartment. It just occurred to me how, oh no. And refused to get a pet deposit or get rid of them, or clean up after herself, or in fact pay bills. Though that's not something that'll really come out of this installment. She took us on a grand Florida vacation that, despite some bumps, was okay for a time. For us. So, dear friends, I hope you enjoyed that little vacation, because there's a storm brewing, and it's about to rain down on us like an exploded septic tank. Here we go. So then, after returning from our little vacation, life returned to normal. And by normal, I mean our house reeked of cat piss, our sink overflowed dishes, and you could smell my roommate's bathroom from the living room, which I avoided. The house was in such a state that I started avoiding the rest of the house unless I needed food or had to go to work. The cats had taken advantage of our absence to make a little clubhouse in the bottom of our couch, and GB's mom, who was a lazy trash person, had just not noticed or not cared. She'd also made no attempt to change the litter all week and just came to give them food and watch our TV. Wow. So after that, I got my own litter box and kept my cat in my room, and with her own food. The pet I had originally put the deposit on had run out the door one day and never came back, so I adopted one of the dumpster kittens. Felt better than leaving her in the house with that rabble, the rabble that ultimately contributed to the name of this story. About a month after our trip, I was eating in the kitchen. This was a rarity and was just a quick bite before going to work. I was having a biscuit when one of the cats jumped onto the table to sniff my food. I shooed it away, and to my surprise, it swiped at me. The cut wasn't much, so I washed my hands, put a band-aid on it, and went about my day. 3 days later, I was too sick to get out of bed. Oh no. I was running a high fever. I had chills. There were angry lines running out from the wound. Oh, no. I managed to make it to the hospital I worked at. They told me I had cat scratch fever. It had a more impressive name, but the PA told me that's what it was. They gave me some antibiotics, told me to get plenty of rest. I called work and told them what was going on. They told me, feel better. A week later, I was not doing well. The antibiotics were in the kitchen, somewhere I had stupidly left them when I got home. My fever had gotten so high that I was delirious. I was doing nothing much besides laying in bed and raving. To M's credit, he did check on me from time to time, once or twice a day, and brought me water and Gatorade. He couldn't find the pills, kept me hydrated somewhat, and I slept on and off. I woke up after 3 days to my mother standing over me. Have you been feeding him? Well, I got him water. He kept saying he wasn't hungry, so... Well, we've been taking care of him. He's getting better. Why are you here? Anyway, we got this. I hadn't actually seen GB in about 3 days, but I was so delirious that I can't confirm or deny this statement. I remember being picked up. I vaguely remember a car ride. I remember someone pushing a pill into my mouth. I remember waking up on Saturday in an unfamiliar bed. Given that I had been scratched on Sunday, this felt weird since the last 6 days were very hazy. My mom came in and noticed that I was awake and brought me some soup and some coffee. Mom's answered everything. She sat at the foot of the bed and wanted to talk, knowing that I wouldn't refuse while I was stuffing my face with her delicious chicken and wild rice soup. It sounds really good. Best soup in the world. I will die on that hill. You know what? I'll agree with you on that because it sounds fucking amazing. Son, you need to consider coming home. I can't. I've got a lease and bills. I can't just leave M and GB high and dry. Eru, those two are going to leave you in that bed to either die or get better. I'm honestly not sure which one you would have done. When I came to get you, your fever was 103. Oh my god. You could have easily died and they wouldn't have noticed until it was time to pay rent. You could move home, live here rent-free, go back to school, maybe get a better job after you got your degree. We went back and forth until finally she said, just keep it in mind. I talked to your boss when she called and I told her I was keeping you here till Tuesday to make sure you're better. Think about it until then. I sat in that bed, reading and playing on my phone, thinking about the offer. It was a very tempting offer to me, but it felt disloyal to leave them in such a state. They were my friends. Em and I were practically family, and it felt wrong to abandon them. The more I considered my mom's offer, the more of a shit I felt like. By the time Tuesday morning rolled around, I thanked my parents for their hospitality, and they took me home. Pretty quickly, all my goodwill disappeared. It was early-ish, around 9 a.m., and I noticed there was something on the door. Got a little excited, since I hoped it was for a community garage sale or something. We usually participated, and it was always a lot of fun. It was not a flyer or a pamphlet, or even a missed package. It was an eviction notice. Oh, no. The notice said we were being evicted because we had missed 3 months of rent payments. Oh my god. Now, this came as a shock to me because I'd been paying the rent directly to Legbeard for the last 3 months. When I saw the notice, I realized that my mom had been right about them. My friends had been lying to me, and I was nothing but a walking wallet to GB. Maybe M too, though I didn't want to think about that. I walked into the house ready to confront them with it, but first I had to confront the house. When I tell you this apartment was a wreck, you think you'll understand. You see some beer bottles on the floor, you see some dust in the corners, you might even see a dirty countertop. You'll think I'm exaggerating, but I don't think you can grasp how dirty this place had gotten in less than a week. Think post-Civil War Rwanda. Before I read this, I'm going to go into this knowing what animal hoarders are, and I'm going to guess that it's something close to that, because the way you talk about this person, I'm going to go ahead and assume that I'm not wrong, so let's find out together. The carpet is crunchy, cat litter and dirt and mud basically ruining it. The couch is sticky with something and covered in clothes and cat litter. Kitchen floor is sticky and filthy. There was a sandal stuck to it that looked like it was attached with glue. Counters, sink, stove covered in sauce and grease and filth. Sink is piled high with dirty dishes. Washing machine is full of dirty clothes that smelled like sour mash. My bathroom has been used and clearly not cleaned afterwards. We each had our own bathroom. We did not use each other's bathrooms. And the turd cherry on my shit sundae was the bedroom doors wide open. The cats have shit on my pristine carpet. There's litter and dirty paw prints on the bed. The books have been pushed off my shelves. The cat did this in the living room sometimes too. My computer is on, has been used, and there's an ashtray on my desk. Yeah, I kind of saw that coming. Fuck no. Yeah, that'd be my answer too. I burst into their room and raised the fucking dead. What the absolute fuck? They both sat up, very bleary and confused. I come home to find the house a wreck, my room ransacked, and a fucking eviction notice for unpaid rent? Someone has about 2 seconds to start explaining what the fuck is going on here. GB had her excuses ready, of course. Well, that's a mistake. I've been paying rent for 3 months for my trust fund. They are clearly wrong. I will go and... I cut her off, though. I had started to have some real misgivings about her stories and told her that I would check it for myself. I would also take M with me so she couldn't convince him to head out while we're gone. I was prepared to be surprised by the landlord, but it was M who surprised me. Wait, he said as we get in the car. I need to come clean. He spilled it all out right there. Her uncle was trying to dispute her access to the trust fund, feeling she wasn't responsible. He had tied it up after the trip, showing that she had spent way too much money. They had basically been using my rent checks to pay for day-to-day expenses. I should have told you. It was really shitty of me, and I'm sorry I didn't tell you, but as soon as this cleared up, she's gonna fix it. She's gonna get all this fixed, and... I had tuned out. His words were the same as hers, and I knew that I had to get out. The conditions had made me sick, damn near killed me, and it was never gonna get better. And so, I told him I'm moving out. I can't stand the lives and the environment, and was leaving to stay with my parents. They had taken 3 months of my rent, so they could figure it out. I was upset with them, and I didn't want to hear their excuses. If they wanted to salvage our friendship, they could fix this mess. As it was, I had lost about $2,100, and I gave them the last month's rent before the lease expired too. This may seem foolish, but I made a promise to uphold my end of the lease, and I considered that to be my burden. Stupid, yeah, but it was more about my honor than anything. So I packed up and left, leaving those two to their mess. They moved out at the end of the month, moving in with her parents, and I honestly didn't expect to hear from them again. My parents let me move into one of their guest rooms. They had a pretty big house. And I started looking into the local college so I could get a degree in drafting and computer technology. This should be where the story ends. But it's not. You see, about 2 months later, I got a message from Im and Legbeard wanting to have lunch. I should have ignored it, but I didn't. This would prove to be a mistake. So, dear friends, stay tuned for part 4. The audacity of this bitch. Oh, fuck, that is some righteous anger, my friend, and I would have done the exact same thing. I would have raised fucking hell. That is the kind of shit that pisses me off, man. Like, it's one thing if you're staying with someone. It's one thing if they're even your roommate. You don't fucking violate the sanctity of their shit, though. Everybody has a space. It's their own space. And you don't fuck with their space. Bottom line. Period. That's it. There's certain things you don't fuck with. Not because it's like, you know, some people can be petty about it, yes. But a lot of it is because it's important. Like, I don't mind having people in my office. My office is pretty good sized. I can, you know, entertain a friend or two if they ever come over. And that's fine. But I don't like people fucking with my computer. Because I need this shit for work. This thing is important because of that. You can play whatever games you want, do whatever else you want, just don't fuck with the work machine. When OP specifically was like, my computer is left on, obviously someone fucked with it, that was another thing that totally set me off. Like, I'd have to kill a motherfucker. Like, that's my job you're fucking with right there, man. Don't fucking do that. And if somebody, you know, it's not even just that. It's not even just for work. It's clearly their space. It is clearly their personal space. Why the fuck would you do that to their personal space? You have all this room, all this space, all this stuff that you've basically been given free reign over, and you have to fuck with somebody else's stuff? That ain't cool, man. That is just not fucking cool. As for the state of the house, yeah, I kind of called it whenever she started bringing in more and more animals. That's a hoarder. She's got a lot of hoarder behavior. That is definitely one of those things, and it's definitely tied up with, like, bad self-esteem and all kinds of shit like that. There's a lot of mental illness going on in that one. But that isn't your problem to fix. That isn't your problem to fix at all, OP. That's one of those things. And I'm glad that you didn't try to stick around or try to deal with it. You did what you could, because friends, but eventually you have to draw a fucking line. I think nearly fucking dying was the line. And I don't blame you. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't pay him at all. I wouldn't blame you if you just walked the fuck out. Motherfucker nearly died. So yeah, no, I wouldn't blame him. That's totally understandable to me. You took a lot higher road than I ever did. I would have had to go off on a motherfucker and just burn that shit to the ground. But that's the end of this part. So, thank you all for watching. If you're enjoying this, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that good YouTube shit. I have a Ko-Fi and a merch store, and I would really, really appreciate you checking those out, since still can't live stream. Thanks, Charter. So, that basically is how we're keeping the lights on around here. If you can donate to the Ko-Fi and buy some stuff from the merch store, I'd appreciate it. If you can't, that's okay too. I'm just glad you're here. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to send me your own story, r/Moonhorse Stories, it's my subreddit, I'll check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next part. I'm literally about to go record it right now because I need to know what happens. You'll have to wait a little while longer, though. I know, this is just me being an asshole at this point. Haha, you have to wait. I'm sorry. That's fucked up. But I love you all, I really do. And I'm sorry about that, but I do love you. And I'll see you in the next part. Goodbye, everybody.